with the merchandise options you will find online. If you have busted gear, they offer 5-minute fixes in store. You can find Oveja Negra at the corner of F and 1st Street, downtown Salida, or online at ovejanegrabikepacking.com. Cahin is supported in part by the Highside Bar and Grill. Experience Salida's riverside dining on Highside's spacious patio, heated deck, indoor dining room. The Highside Bar and Grill offers seasonal cocktails, full menu, and daily rotating specials. They also have live music every weekend featuring local and visiting musicians. They're located at 300 West Sackett Avenue in Salida, and their website is thehighsidesalida.com. And Cahin is supported in part by the Colorado Sports Recycler. CSR offers ski tuning, dry top repair, and full-service bike shop. Their consignment retail space features secondhand bikes, clothes, river gear, and whatnot. The Colorado Sports Recycler also offers a plethora of snarky stickers to fit all your sarcasm needs. Find them on Highway 50 between Blake and Palmer. You can call them at 719-221-2880, but they probably won't answer. Cahin is also supported by Hilltop Broadband. Hilltop Broadband offers residential and business wireless internet service throughout Salida and Poncha Springs and Chaffee County. Service is also available in Fremont County, Custer County, and more. To experience the difference, Hilltop difference, or request new customer information, visit hilltop-broadband.com or just call them 877-783-2889, and they probably will answer. Well, good morning, Salida. Welcome to the River Flow Live Show. I'm your host, Jim Lofgren, and I am very happy to announce that I have Mr. Patsy O'Brien in the studio. Patsy was my very first interview 4 years ago, like in May. I was terrified. I didn't know what to do, and he ended up being the best interview ever. You got a caffeinated Irish guy that likes to talk, and life is good. He was my very first one, and this is my 129th Avenue.
Wow.
All you Cahin listeners, welcome Patsy O'Brien into the studio.
Great to be here.
Man, Patsy, it's good to have you back.
Thank you.
I
got me?
I got you on.
Well, all right.
What have you been doing? You are now a resident of Chaffee County.
I'm here most of the time, for sure.
Very good.
Yeah. It's been I've been here pretty much all the summer, dealing with stuff to do with the house and that, but also like exploring the music scene here, and oh my God. Yeah. It just goes on.
And you're part of it now.
And
we got so much talent here, and now you're a part of it. It's like, oh my gosh, I'm just giddy about and you go to all these different music, and I love seeing you play with other musicians.
That's what I'm enjoying. It's just the other musicians around here that I get to jam out with, and the standard is so high, and everybody's so welcoming too. Actually,
yeah, it's a cool town to be in.
Yeah, for sure.
My Bonnie really enjoyed connecting with your wife and stuff.
Oh yeah.
That's a really cool.
Yeah, that's nice, and that's part of being in a small town. I grew up in a town this size actually. And now it's kind of funny. It feels like I've kind of come full circle.
It's full circle, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because you've lived in a bunch of big cities. You've been in New York City?
I lived around New York City. I lived in St. Louis. I lived around all over the place. But, if you'd have told me I was going to end up in a town of 5,000 people again, I would have said, nah, I don't think that's going to happen. But here I am.
Here you are, man. Life is good that way. Oh, my gosh. What have you been up to besides building a house?
This year... 2024, I kind of decided I had to sit down with myself. I had a conversation with myself and said, am I going to make another record? Like I make a full-on CD, burn the CD, do that. And I thought, I could do that, but just to change it up a bit. I decided maybe just to try and release standalone songs, singles as we used to call them back in the day. In fact, we still call them singles. But so I've just been preparing songs to be released kind of one after another with maybe a month and a half, 2 months in between, and just letting those kind of trickle out just to kind of do things that way for a change, and that's been an interesting process. I really enjoyed that because there's less pressure of a deadline to get your 12 songs burnt and copied and all that, and all that kind of stuff. And also like you start thinking about continuity in terms of, well, okay, I released this one song, what kind of a song would be a good follow-up? And then you start thinking creatively in those terms, which is kind of different. You know what I mean?
You're such a prolific songwriter. Does the tune come first, or do the words come first? And you start?
I don't have a rule for that. When it comes to like that 1 ounce of inspiration, it could be It could be a line that has a melody, you know, you just have it and you kind of work from there. Or it could just be the line, or it might just be the melody. But a lot of the time, it's like a lot of people say, it's 1% inspiration and 99% perspiration. So you get your one seed, and from there, it's up to you to kind of work it and see what you can get out of it, you know.
Most of my playlist is coming off of Spotify, and you've been releasing some new songs.
Yeah.
If You Were a Record.
If You Were a Record,
I love that song.
Good.
The songwriting on that. I played that earlier, and then you have one, what's it called, about the dog?
Oh, the new one, Baby, Your Dog Doesn't Like Me.
Your Dog Doesn't Like
Yeah,
Me. I love that. It's so good.
Well, you know, I released it, and I thought...
How did you write that song? Did you have someone where the dog just snarled at you?
You know, I was in both of those. It's really weird that both of those songs were written in St. Louis, Missouri. Oddly enough, I was playing out there. I went around to my friend's house, Kevin, who I was playing with, his great, wonderful fiddle player. Went around to his house, and I hadn't met his dog before, so we just walked in, and there's his dog Maggie standing in the living room. I'm walking in the front door, and Kevin goes, "There's Maggie," and Maggie and I just kind of looked at each other for a second, and there was a second there where it could have gone any direction. You know what I mean? I mean, I'm pretty good with animals, and dogs tend to like me, but there was a second there where I thought, I'm not sure how this is going to go. And maybe Maggie was thinking the same thing. I don't know. But it was right there. I thought, maybe your dog doesn't like me. And that was what I had. And honestly, I started just throwing that out live, and I was getting such a great response from the song. I said, well, I should probably record that one. I had no intention of recording it, actually. I thought it was just a joke, you know. And
it's just a fun song.
It's a fun song, but, you know, audiences started really reacting to it in a positive way. So I said, okay, well, I'll make that one the next single. You know, so yeah. And there's a new one coming out, hopefully in the next couple of months.
Patsy, you got a show at the A Church. Is that a 7 o'clock show?
That is, doors 6:30 and 7 o'clock.
I totally screwed up on the schedule. I have a 4:30, and I thought it was a 5 o'clock show, and I checked this morning, and it's like,
yeah.
Uh-oh.
That's because we actually, Bruce Warren was scheduling that show, and we did think about doing an earlier show. And even I've put stuff out there that said it's an early matinee show. Turns out it's not. It's a 7
o'clock.
PM show.
That's going to work out better for me anyway.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. And, you know, I mean, whenever it is, I'm going to be there.
Yeah.
You know, so...
That's exciting. And where else are you playing after that? You
Well,
got a gig in Montrose?
I'm going to Montrose the day after because that's kind of a different setup. I'm just opening a show for someone, and the guy I'm opening for is a guy called Tony McManus, who's a...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so you're familiar.
Yeah.
So this guy is such a good fingerstyle guitar player.
That's
He's
so
a Scottish
cool.
guy. And he, you know, he's kind of defined the genre in a lot of ways. I've just got so much respect for the guy. And it was about 20 years ago since we crossed paths. So it's going to be one of those things where I'm going to walk in and I'm going to go, Tony, Patsy, when was that? And we're going to have that conversation, you know, that kind of thing.
That's so cool.
And
you get to open for him.
I'm going to open for him, which I just want to go down actually and watch his show and open up for him. That to me, that's just worth it. You know, that's what it's going to be, you know. So, yeah. But if you haven't heard Tony McManus, go and check out Tony McManus for sure. For sure.
That's exciting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Man, would you like to play something?
Sure. Yeah. I've been writing a lot of new stuff. So what I'm excited about for A Church on Sunday is that I'll be sort of launching a lot of the new songs, and it's nice just to throw them out into an audience and see. It's kind of scary. You don't know what kind of reaction you're going to get, but
hopefully there wouldn't be a lot of cringing or anything.
Yeah, and you know. Who knows? But the thing about that is the A Church is such a good listening room. It's your listening room in town here, where, like, you know, it's all about for people that love music and want to hear music without the distraction of a bar noise or, you know,
bar
street
chatter.
noise. Yeah, any of that kind of stuff. So it's a place where you can sit and listen, and people like me could come into town and play for people that want to sit down and listen. You know what I mean?
You're actually playing for people and not the background music for their conversation.
Exactly. That's the beauty of the A Church. I mean, you're so lucky to have it here in town. But anyway,
it's like 3 doors down from me.
I know.
It's
yeah, that's right. I forgot. Yeah, you're spoiled rotten.
The rotten's you got that right.
All right.
I love this town.
How about this one? Let's see how this one flies. This is called, you know what? It's so new, I'm not even sure what it's called, so I'm just going to play it. Blue river in the night, shining moon over me, and when I kill the headlights, midnight fills with memory, the same moon shines on St. Louis tonight, and I know the boys are playing tunes tonight. tears in her goodbye, sparkling moon on her cheek, cruel Missouri sky, still chasing me. The same moon shines on her shoulders tonight. Is the only one that knows if she's alone tonight. And I'm out here 'cause I want to be, just trying to outrun some memories of me and her dancing long and slow, so long ago. Of me and her dancing long and slow, so long ago. So long ago, under the moon, under the moon.
What a great song. I love the words to it.
Oh, you like it?
What's the name of it?
Yeah, right. Yeah. If you can think of one, Jim, you got it. You know what I mean?
Bruce Warren's the best at thinking up song names and band names.
He spends a bit of time at that for sure. Yeah, he does come up with some good ones. In fact, he's got an original tune that we play together called Ponderosa Moonlight. Ponderosa Moonrise. Now, that's an evocative title right there. You know,
that paints a picture.
It doesn't it? Yeah. It's a great tune as well, actually. Yeah.
Do you remember your first paid gig?
Yes.
How long ago was that? How old were you?
I was 17 because I left school early because I had absolutely no interest. I was just a total guitar
They weren't
nut.
teaching you anything.
I was a total idealistic, naive 17-year-old that thought he knew everything. You know, you ever heard of those?
Yeah.
That kind?
I think I was one.
Yeah, you're probably one of those. Anyways, I left school and I joined a local band that traveled around the country. And I played bass, and I was terrible. But it was a paid gig. I was getting £30 a gig. I was the highest paid 17-year-old in my town at the time, you know. And I did that for about 6 months. Anyway, that was like my first paid, actually professional band gig. Yeah.
That's a lot of money.
You know,
£30 back then.
That was back then, yeah.
That's a good wage.
It was great. And, you know, it was kind of exciting. You get in the bus and you travel maybe to Donegal or up to Galway or Roscommon or wherever, or Dublin. And, like, it was kind of like, you know, actually being in a band. And it was kind of like, it was a band that did everything from, it had a brass section. It was Glenn Miller swing to Elvis Presley to some waltzes. That it was an era in Irish popular music, if you like, you know, that I got a glimpse of before it disappeared, you know. So it was kind of cool, for sure.
So that pretty much set the tone that you didn't want to work the 8 to 5 job or anything.
Well,
you wanted to be a...
That was kind of the thing. I mean, you know, once I did that for a long time, whenever I did have to pick up work, it just felt all wrong. You know, like if I had to pick up, like, you know, a regular 9 to 5 kind of or whatever, I was always like a square peg in a round hole. You know, it just never really worked out for me, you know. And so consequently, the reason like I never lasted too long in a real job is because I didn't, you know, it was recognized that I probably wasn't the guy for the job, you know, because if a gig came in, I'm leaving, and that's just kind of it, you know. So I wasn't the most reliable employee in the world.
Music's your love, so.
Yeah, so, you know, it always took priority. So, you know, I guess people figured out pretty quickly just not to hire Patsy if they wanted someone to stick around, you know.
And now you're building homes now.
Now I'm building homes. I'm building one anyway. Building one for me. Let's say that, you know. Building one for me and my wife, and that might be the end of it. But, you know, I'm learning a whole lot of new skills, you know, and happy to use them, you know. So, but got to watch my fingers.
Yeah.
You know, that's kind
the hammers are terrible.
Hammers are bad on your fingers. Yeah. Avoid hammers at all costs, you know. But yeah. So, yeah, what was that question? Yeah, my first paid gig, yeah, that was it.
17, that
17.
was it.
Yeah. Totally bullheaded, thought I knew everything, wouldn't listen to anybody. You know.
In retrospect, have you learned quite a bit since then?
Yeah, but I'm still totally bullheaded. Won't listen to anybody. Just in a different way.
I'm a good probably 10 years older than you, and it's the same. Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't go away.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know, people just put up with us, Jim.
Yeah.
That's all that happens.
Used to do stupid stuff just less often.
Yeah. I used to try.
Or I try to.
Yeah, exactly. You know, no, for sure.
Well, Patsy, I know you're in a hurry to get back and do that stuff.
Yeah,
do you?
yeah. I'll get there.
Okay.
But this
I don't want to
fun.
keep you here. You took your time to come down here.
I know. I mean, this is nice just to sit across the desk and talk to Jim, you know?
Yeah, man. Sunday, you guys don't want to miss his 7:00 show. Get there early and get a good seat. He's going to be really good.
Yeah, it's a great room. If you haven't been to the A Church, you should go anyway. You know, honestly.
And it's a lot closer than Coaldale. Coaldale's cool too.
It's a great room, but you know, you've got that stretch of road between you and it. You know,
that's a good 17 miles for me. I can't army crawl down to Coaldale. I can army crawl.
You could walk backwards to the A Church.
I could.
You know, and not get hit by a truck. For sure.
I had something I was going to ask you, and I have a blank now.
Oh,
Imagine that.
I don't know. Well, why don't I ask you a question?
Yeah.
How'd you get into radio?
I have no idea.
Really?
Rick White and Forrest Whitman kind of calf roped me, and they kind of forced me into it.
Did they say, like, you know, Jim, we need someone to do a show. We'd love you to do a show. Is that kind of a thing? Or?
Yeah, they've been pursuing me for several years, and then in the pandemic, I realized that all I was doing was sitting at home playing music by myself. And then, anyway, Rick, I had run into Rick White, and he kind of talked me into it. And it was during the pandemic, and I'd come in and sit in a show, but I had to sit out in the hallway with the door shut with a mask on and watch him.
Yeah.
And then we got brave, and we all wore masks in the same studio.
Oh wow!
And then I was doing like underwriters and PSAs for him.
Oh yeah.
While he ran the show, and then like a month of that, I started my first show in August of 2020.
August of 20. So that was your first show.
And I've done 100, and this is my 187th show since then.
So that's wow! Holy moly!
I'm doing 30-something shows a year.
Yeah. Wow, that's a lot. Because I know you put a lot of preparation into this.
Yeah, and then all that. So, but it's been a good ride, and I started out with the 1 hour, and now I'm up to 4 hours now.
That's a marathon show.
What the heck?
Yeah, that's a long show.
Yeah. But I love interviewing musicians and promoting their art and everything.
Yeah, and you know the music you play too. I tune in like on a Friday morning, and you play some great stuff.
Cahan's got good DJs all week long. I mean, they got some outstanding DJs.
I'm still exploring the schedule. Yeah, everything I'm finding has been great. You know,
Lisa, our new station director, she is an awesome DJ, and Dustin Tidwell, he did your interview just a couple days ago. He's incredible.
He's a great interviewer. Like I think I said it.
I try to learn from them. I mean, I got a lot to learn, and they're smooth, and they like to talk, and I'm not that much of a talker.
Yeah, Dustin, like I think I said it to you earlier on while we were doing that interview. I forgot I was being interviewed. I mean, he was just he was so conversational, and just sort of so back and forth. I had to kind of every so often I had to just watch what I said just in case I rambled. You know what I mean? Too much.
I saw a dog walking through here. Is that your dog?
No, that's Mark's.
That's Mark's dog.
That's Ricky.
That's Ricky. Okay.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Lisa has a station dog. It comes in sometimes too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I met Lisa yesterday, or not when I came in to interview with Dustin, and I said to her, I'm gonna sign up as a volunteer here and do some stuff, because this is a great station. I mean, I'm not blowing smoke. I like community radio anyway. Where I lived in Minnesota, there's some great stations, but like I'm right here right now, and I might as well get involved with a good station.
It's been really good to see Cahan really grow from the pandemic. And one asset we had was hiring Mark Schonecker as our station director. He turned the station around and really did some positive things for the station. I mean, really, really positive.
That's great.
And got some new DJs in, stuff like that.
Yeah.
He's retired.
Oh.
He's still coming in, and now he set up the mics and the cameras for us today.
There you go. Yeah.
He's volunteering, and
he's doing a terrible job of retiring. I keep saying it.
He's got to practice on that.
Yeah.
But Lisa's is an awesome new station director.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. All right, what do you think? I should probably
got one more.
I'll get one out of me.
Get one more.
Actually,
swinging a hammer.
Yeah, I thought of this one because the last one I played, you said, well, what's the name of it? And I kind of went, oh, it's kind of new. And that happens. It doesn't. I won't say it happens a lot, but when it happens, I kind of just let it ride. And once I think of a name, I'll use it. But this is one that was hanging around forever without a name, to the point where I played a show in Alamosa last July, and I was just on stage, and I thought, I got no name, and I should do better. So I just fessed up to the audience and said, I don't have a name. Why don't you listen to it? And at the end of the song, we'll have a conversation.
Okay.
About the name
possible
of the song.
names.
So I did that in Alamosa. Said it to the crowd. possible name. And that's where I got the name for the song, because there was a lady in the audience that just shouted the name up at me, and it's now called Between the Lines. So that's thanks to her.
Very cool.
So there you go. All right. She was forever, but I was just practice. A cactus flower in her backyard. My desert rose, she doesn't know what love is. So I read the lines and I hit the road. Now way back home from behind his glasses, he says, chin up boy, you know it's all ahead. From hills and valleys to peaks and canyons, you're gonna know 'em all by the time you're dead. Now I'm halfway through and I'm hanging on. Old buckaroo's got nothing on me. Let the hard rain fall and the cold wind blow. The weatherman sounds sure, but he don't know. Now I pray to heaven, but I call the cops and keep 'em all sweet in case of sudden stops. At the traffic light, a woman holds a sign. Says it all when you read between the lines. Now my desert rose is just a memory. She's still in my phone and she calls on me, saying, baby, baby, where did our time go? Well, I read the signs and I hit the road. Now I'm halfway through and I'm hanging on. Old buckaroo's got nothing on me. Let the hard rain fall and the cold wind blow. The weatherman sounds sure, but he don't know. Said I'm halfway through and I'm hanging on. Old buckaroo's got nothing on me. You let the hard rain fall and the cold wind blow. Weatherman sounds sure, but we all know.
Between the Lines.
Between the Lines.
That's an excellent song. Your songwriter just fascinating.
Well, thanks.
Yeah,
Thanks. Appreciate
good
it.
stuff.
Yeah.
Sunday, 7 o'clock. Get there early. Get a good seat.
Looking forward to seeing it.
It's a great
It's a
venue.
Great venue. I'm really looking forward to getting back in there. I've only played there once before, and as soon as I did, I thought, all right, I want to come back. Yeah.
Man, catch them Sunday night. Patsy, thank you for coming in.
Thanks, Jim. It's always a pleasure chatting.
Yeah, we'll catch you next time.
Yeah, for
Thank
sure.
you so much.
All right, my man.
Guys, I'm going to get back into some regular music while Patsy packs up. I got some Snowy White and the White Flames, some Little Feat with Mike Gordon, some Trey Anastasio